Hey guys, today I'm talking about fleas and I'm going to show you a super simple method to do this. They're all very safe for pets and they're very low cost, whether you're talking about fleas on the exterior, interior, on your pet. So let's head into the potting shed and I'll show you exactly how to do this really simple method. So guys, I'm just touching on 3 of the most popular methods today, but what I did is I put together a PDF, and it's an extremely detailed PDF you can download. It's really easy to understand because I do step-by-step, a multi-day plan of how to take care of fleas that might have made it into your home or whether you're treating outdoors. So take a look at this PDF. Go to my Patreon. The link is in the description. If you're already a member, you can download it for free or you can buy it outright for about $4 or $5. So it took me about 2 or 3 hours just to get my thoughts together and exactly how to do this method, because there's a lot of information here. It would probably take 2 hours to make the video if I ever included everything in the PDF. So let's just touch on the top 3 ways you're going to get fleas under control in and around your home. Now let's start by talking about what you need to do to prepare for these methods. There's some things you need to do first to get things in order before you do any of these methods. So the first thing you want to do is you want to vacuum any carpeted areas of your house. You need to make sure that you dispose of that bag outdoors in a trash can far away from the home, because believe it or not, fleas put into a trash can in a garage or near the home can often make their way back in. So make sure that you vacuum thoroughly any carpet areas. Now if you have hardwood floors, you want to mop all that up, put it into a bucket, and take that bucket of water outside. You want to use soap on it as well, so just make sure you do a thorough cleaning throughout your house, whether carpet or hardwoods, to make sure that you're removing any eggs or larvae, because all the fleas that are on your pets that are coming inside, the larvae and eggs are dropping into your carpets, and that's one of their favorite places to hide until they hatch out. And hardwood floors, they can even get close to the baseboards under furniture. So even if you have hardwoods, you can still have a severe problem with flea infestations. Now next, you want to treat pet bedding with soap and water. Now if they're not washable, you'll need to mist spray it down with soap and water. Just any type of soap, whether you're talking about dish soap or anything like that. So if you want to go with the most natural method, you can use a Castile soap, but you may want to go with something like this Dawn that's going to help eliminate them even quicker. But any type of pet bedding, any favorite place they like to sleep or nap, you want to take all that and wash it. If it's not washable inside of a machine, then you'll need to wash it by hand. Take it outside and let it stay outside for a little while and dry out, because any of the eggs that are hatching out, they're going to be in there. So you need to shake the pet bedding really well once it is outside. Now next, you want to treat the pet, and there's a lot of different products out there. I try to avoid any type of chemicals that are sold at vet clinics or grocery stores or wherever, the big box stores. I want to use the most safest product I can first. Now, diatomaceous earth is very safe. It's made from ground up ancient seashells or sea life. This is actually a food grade version, and this is the garden version, so you don't want to get those mixed up. You want to make sure it says food grade. You only want to use about a teaspoon, and you want to comb it into the pet's hair or kind of rub it in there depending on if they have really curly hair. A cat, do the same thing. Just lightly comb it in there, and the diatomaceous earth will kill the fleas. Now, you still might have the issues with the larvae and eggs there, but the adult fleas will die from the diatomaceous earth. So a bath may be required depending on how bad the infestation is. If you're doing this as a preventative thing, then you will only need to use the diatomaceous earth. Now, method number 1 is the flea trap, and this is so simple to put together. You just need any type of shallow dish or trap. I can use these. I've done these in my garage before. This is just a seedling tray that I had in the greenhouse, and one of the most effective ways that I've done in the past is by just using this old baking pan that's got a little bit of a lip on it, and I'll just fill it about halfway with water. Once you do that, you want to add any type of dish soap you have and swirl it around really good, and then put it, there's a very special thing you need to do. Put it in the center of the room, and then take something like this. This is a pet heating mat, and it's very, very gentle heat. It's not an extreme heat like you would have on a heating pad, but you want to put this under it. So if it's large like this one, you may want to use 2 of these pans or 2 of these seedling trays, because you don't want any of this sticking out. You want the seedling tray to completely cover it, so as the fleas approach it, they're going to jump into it, and fleas can jump quite a distance into the air. So even if it has a 2 or 3 inch lip around it, it won't make a difference. They will make it to it. There's one major trick you need to do to making this work. First, you need to make sure that you cut your AC system as low as you can stand it. If you can stand 68, 67, 66 degrees, that's even better because the gentle heat from this heating pad will draw them in there. One thing, if you don't have the pet heating mat, then you can use any type of light. You could use a 4-foot fixture like this. You could use a gooseneck lamp, and you would just put it right in the center, and you would put the light directly down on it so it's producing a nice gentle heat. Remember, you want to be very careful when you're doing this because you are dealing with electricity, water, and if you're using a metal pan like this, you've got a potentially dangerous situation. So remember, you want GFI plugs to make sure that it trips if it falls over. You want to try to keep the pet out of that room if at all possible because you don't want them drinking any of the liquid. The soap might make them sick. It's not going to be highly toxic, but definitely would have an effect on their digestive system if they drank a lot of it. Most pets would probably avoid it because of the smells and odors. So just remember, the first method is the shallow dish. I'm going to show you a picture of how many fleas we caught in our garage in a 24-hour period. I'll put that up in the video right here so you can see it. But that's step one, is creating a heat attractant system trap that will draw the fleas right to it. So just remember, also keep kids away from this. You may have to do this one room at a time to keep the pets, if you have pets roaming around the house, and just do one room at a time over a period of 2 or 3 nights and you can get them under control. But again, look at that PDF and it's going to go into extreme detail on this, and it'll give you a lot more tips on it as well. If I put all that information in the video, we'd probably be looking at a 2 to 3 hour video. Now next I'm going to talk about diatomaceous earth, but to be used inside. Now this is a diatomaceous earth, as I mentioned earlier. It's a garden type diatomaceous earth, and then you have the food grade. So if you're going to put this in your carpet, you want to gently put it into your carpet. I would use something like a spaghetti strainer or something like that. Put about half a cup in there and just lightly tap it as you go around every room over the carpeted areas. I wouldn't recommend using this on hardwood floors or tile because the diatomaceous earth is going to get pretty messy in that method. You can vacuum this up. I'd recommend wearing a mask. Make sure the pet's out of the room. But again, this is something that people actually take for digestive reasons and things like that. So this is food grade. But don't get the two mixed up. Make sure you use the diatomaceous earth like this one right here, the Garden Safe brand. Make sure that's only in the yard. Now, one thing about using this outdoors is once you have a rain come through or you water your garden, then it's rendered ineffective. It's not going to make any difference at that point. So when it's in its really dry powder state, that's when it's going to have the most effect on any type of insects, including fleas. So just remember, if you're using this in an area where a pet spends a lot of time, whether it's in a small fenced area, you can put this around that area. Just use the same method. And I'll put a link right down below of a battery-powered duster. Again, you want to make sure that you're not breathing this. It could be very irritating to your sinuses and your lungs. Make sure you wear some kind of face protection as you're using, whether you're doing it by hand or if you're using a battery-operated spreader, as I mentioned. But I really like the battery-operated one I recently got, and I use that in my garden for other problems around tomatoes and things like that, but I always make sure I wear face protection when I'm using it. Now, if you have a very limited area where you've detected fleas, you can use something as simple as table salt. Make sure it's granular, not anything coarse or even sea salt, just a regular salt like this, table salt, and you put it very lightly on the carpet. Again, you can use something like a spaghetti strainer, something that will allow you to put it evenly across the carpet. You can take a brush and just lightly brush it into the carpet and then thoroughly vacuum it out. But make sure when you do this, whatever room it is, make sure that the pets are out of the room. They stay out of the room until you vacuumed all the salt back up. So you can also do this on the outside wherever you have pet bedding or anything like that. But remember, you don't want your pet eating the salt at any time. You'll need to clean any pet bedding before they come back in contact with it. But this is another way. Salt will dehydrate the larva and the adult fleas out. So if you want one of the cheapest methods, one of the most simple methods where you may actually have the product you need right now, is ordinary table salt. It may take a little bit more than normal, but salt is pretty inexpensive, so you could try a couple of sizes of these if you have a little bit larger room and take care of those fleas once and for all with ordinary salt. Now, I said I would do 3. I'm going to give you a bonus method here is apple cider vinegar. You can spray this on carpeted and pet bedding areas. Use something like a solo sprayer like this, mist it. I'd say about 3 tablespoons to a gallon and then spray those areas. That's going to help a lot with the larvae and the adult fleas. It may not affect the eggs so much because a lot of times they're protected in kind of a cocoon state. So if you're having a huge problem with adult fleas and larvae, you could do this as well. I usually have this in my supplement cabinet. So sometimes if we just see a flea or two on some pet bedding, we'll misspray it. I'll mix it up in one of these solo sprayers, link in the description. If you don't have them, they work great, and that'll take care of any pet bedding. And I'll allow it to dry out before the pets come back in contact with it, but it's not toxic to pets as long as they're not drinking a large volume of it. So guys, if you're like me and you like to read this master guide on controlling fleas in and around your home, will come in quite handy. You can download it, save it to your device. You can print off a hard copy like this. It contains an extreme amount of detail. As I said, the video would be about 6 or 7 times longer than it is today if I gave all the information here. So take a look at that. If you're a member of the Patreon, you can get it at no charge. Just download it. And if you're not, you can buy it for $4 or $5, download it, and you'll have it forever. So go to Patreon to see that. The link's in the description. All the products I use, I try to be helpful and give links to everything that you might need. So guys, I really appreciate it. If you have a comment or a question, hope you'll become a public subscriber on YouTube first, because I tend to put those questions to the front of the line. I get hundreds and hundreds of questions each week, and it's almost impossible to answer them all. But I do appreciate everyone that interacts with the channel in any way that they do. So a thumbs up would be quite helpful as well. So guys, I really appreciate it. Have a great day.